Anyways, to continue on about, those harsh comments that I was reading, this could be considered part 2. The previous video was more about it relating to, the basketball player, but to continue on the harsh comments, it had me thinking about the fact that it made me realize that a lot of people operate with their egos, and not only that, it's like very cutthroat, very cutthroat, heartless, and it's like, how can anybody survive in a world where people are heartless? There's a time and place for everything, but to be heartless is like, it's painful to see. It's painful to see, and painful to even feel that energy. I see things in a completely different way. I've been a very optimistic person. I've been a very optimistic person for a long period of time in my life. And I stayed away from a lot of negative, harsh energies for a long period of time in my life, because I just didn't like how it felt. Because I have a lot of loving energy. But at the same time, I know that having that loving energy attracts, certain type of people. And these people, they use that energy to make things easier for them. And that's misuse of someone's energy, because to have that type of people that are users, that could turn somebody heartless. And in a way, I'm actually at a point where I'm like withdrawing from even having contact with people. But like, this channel looks like my safe space, basically. It's a place where I go to express my thoughts and share, my experiences and what I do to enjoy my time and have fun and bring, something to the world in some way, my own way. You know, like when I left that job back then, that was me leaving that harsh energy. You know, it's like even when I was in college, around that period of time, I was living in student housing. Then I had to move out to a different place, and the energy was sort of harsh in that area, you know. So then I moved to live back with my mother, because I felt like I spent such a long time away from my family. So then I went back to spend time with them so that I could, you know, develop our relationships, because I didn't really get a chance previously because my brother was away living with other family. So then it's like I just came back so that we can all, get together again. I was actually thinking on a high level, but on a high level based on the type of information I had. So I was leaving that harsh energy because I was there by myself, technically. In a way I was. And so when I went back to live with my mother and my family, what I realized is that I didn't have any privacy. So it was like I really wanted to move out, but at the same time I had so much pain from being in college, and I was just thinking, like, I just couldn't really figure it out, but I had to go to that job, but then at the job it was harsh because people yelling, people overstepping their boundaries. And that just made me realize I never wanted to be in that type of environment. And that's because I was getting rid of that harsh energy, that heartless energy. So technically I was always mostly just getting rid of the heartless energy. And so when I spent time with family, it's like I couldn't even really, I was like conflicted because I didn't want to go through that whole harsh energy of being at work. So then I decided it would be better to focus on my own business, but it's like I was thinking about how it would be a good idea to, I didn't know what steps to take to start a business. That's the problem. So it was kind of confusing for me. It was very confusing because I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what to do. But I knew what I wanted to do. But I didn't know what steps to take. So I focused on my mental health because I had so much anxiety, and those loans. Those freaking loans, it was like, how am I going to pay them back? And it was so much stress. It felt like I was frozen. So it was like I was frozen mentally for making any decisions. But the decisions I made was to follow my heart and follow my passion, which was skateboarding and art. So that's what I've been focused on for quite a while now. And I made all these pendants. I made this. I made this. I'm very creative. So I think that I have became more creative, but at the same time, my creativity is still sort of being, I'm not even gonna say what's going on, but I'm doing my best to move forward and expand my creativity to different levels, because I'm the type of person that believes in living with purpose and passion and love and the beauty, because how can you be living this life and not enjoy it? Because then it's like, if you don't enjoy it, then it's technically a prison. It's like you're stuck. You're stuck living in a world that's harsh and heartless. Unless you make something, you do something to make it worth your while being here. So you do something to make it worth your while being here, right? Because that's what will make it feel better, like you're not in a hell. And it's not like I'm doing it's not my intention to bring anybody any harm, right? It's not my intention at all. But to somebody else, they might perceive the things I do to be like worthless or whatever, or not important, or any type of, way that they may perceive it. But is that true? No, it's not. In my world, what I do has a good purpose. But in somebody else's world, it may seem weird. So, since it seems weird, right? and it seems like I'm doing the wrong thing, or not following society, or not, it's like I'm listening to my soul. I'm listening to my heart. And if being at a part of society and following the rules or directions of how people want you to be like, and it's like, to me, that harms me to do those things, because you're being put in a place with a whole bunch of people that you don't even really know, strangers. And some of these people have thoughts of doing things that you're not even thinking about. Like, you're not even thinking about doing things like that. You just want to enjoy your talent, your skills, your gift, you're here to discover and to explore life in the fullest way ever. So why am I limiting myself to being in an environment that's oppressive? And limiting. These are the thoughts that flow through my mind. So I'm not saying you gotta copy me. For you, going to work may actually work for you, but for me, because I have different skills and talents and different abilities, it's like I'm tapping into myself and into my abilities, instead of just limiting myself to one thing, just for money, just for some tokens and some, paper money. Like, I have a bigger purpose for focusing on what's important for me. So I'm actually in a miracle. In a way, this is a miracle, but in a way, this is just another level to break through from. It's like I'm being born and born every single day. Every day, every day that comes, it's like I'm being born into a whole new world, breaking through. It's just a womb. Like, my ideas are constantly gestating, waiting to be born, awaiting to be born into form. Every moment is a gestation of ideas. Waiting to materialize. So, my gifts and talents are being developed every single moment that I focus on them and that I give them life. But if I stay in some situation where somebody's controlling my every move, how can I ever see what I can do? How can I ever see what I can do if somebody's controlling my every move? Who even said? Like, why? Why does everybody seem to be copying each other? It just makes me it's weird to me. It's very weird to me. Because I've always been sort of like out of the ordinary, Extremely out of the ordinary. And I'm not just saying that just to be like, oh, I'm better. No, it's not what it is. I'm saying that because it's like, I'm like a whole nother type of being. And I'm not willing to, I rather be unique and shine my own light because the universe made me this way so that I can be authentically me and unique and be different, because that's how new ways could be created. We're just developing into a whole new phase of being. We've already did the same thing over and over so many times. But now we are shifting into a whole new world where everybody is unique. And that's how I maintain a peace of mind and a peace in my heart, by trusting that the universe will always work in my favor. I use everything and I alchemize it. I bake the cake of life by using what has already been created to turn it into something else. It's a whole nother level of recycling energy. It's alchemy. Not only is it spiritual alchemy, but it is the alchemy of using what is to make something better. So I get away from the harsh energy by believing in the universe. By believing in my infinite power. By believing in a higher force, the infinite intelligence. I am the mastermind of my own life because I use my inner eye to visualize. I use my inner eye to visualize. A creation that's materializing. And I live my life. My full life. Reaching my greatest heights. Living truly in my divine being, seeing the beauty from within. On the outside, but it's only just my imagination piercing through the fabric of what is. Particles, atoms, nuclei. Nothing's impossible because in the word it says I'm possible. It's possible. Everything's possible. So I live and I keep going. I'm forever alive as I thrive. See you in the next video. Like and subscribe. share and comment if you like.